Hey, we're back on the channel here. It's we did our last video on Friday, and so we have a little set. We've got a light. Jordan's gonna kill me because it's like shadow puppet time. This is Robin Puga. He came by today to have some coffee and talk about some of the stuff that he's working on. Rob and I actually go way back. We know each other from Bowen Island since.
I'm gonna go with 78.
Wow.
79 maybe.
79. I think it was 79, something like that, which is pretty amazing. Wow, 79. We're old. Robin's just finishing up some work at
The British Columbia Institute for Cooperative Studies.
which means what?
Well, it's a research institute located at the University of Victoria, and they study cooperative businesses.
Okay, so and that's what we talked a little bit about today. Is Robin sort of kicking around doing a Vancouver technology co-op?
Yeah.
And so I know what 2 out of those 3 words mean: Vancouver and technology co-op. So something to do with hippies and patchouli? What's a co-op?
Well, it's a little more than just hippies. Basically, a co-op is a democratically controlled business.
Okay.
It means one member, one vote.
Okay.
And there's a variety of different forms co-ops can take, including credit unions are actually financial cooperatives. Not a lot of people are aware of that. Now,
BC kind of has a lot of credit unions. It has a big history of co-ops in general in BC.
BC has a huge history of co-ops, starting with like fishery co-ops.
Okay. Oh, really?
There's farming co-ops, and in fact, there's mill co-ops, stuff along that lines.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, just a little tidbit of co-op trivia.
Yeah.
One of the first credit unions formed in BC was actually a bunch of Prince Rupert mill workers.
Right.
In the 1930s formed the first credit union in BC. Now 1 in 3 people in BC use a credit union as their primary financial institution.
Cool. Okay. So you're like I said, I really don't know what it is. I'm encouraging Robin. He's not sure if he's going to do it or not, but I want him to come out to Bar Camp on September 27th and do a session on what is a co-op and maybe talk a little bit about what he thinks of launching one. I know it's early days. It's not even really doesn't have a name yet and other stuff like that. You're just getting started, right?
Yeah, still an idea in being formed,
Okay.
and a lot of discussion around it. We've been talking about this for, well, the better part of a year, actually. But my feeling is that the cooperative model really lends itself to, well, open source development specifically. And I've actually done a paper comparing the principles of cooperative identity to the principles of the open source community.
Cool.
And I think that they very much parallel in values.
I've talked a lot about sort of how the mission of nonprofits parallels nicely with open source, and it sounds like co-ops more on the business side really parallel open source.
Very much. Yeah.
Of course, people know I kind of do a lot of Drupal stuff, and Robin does as well, and Civic Actions, and I think they're called the Chicago Technology Co-op, are both sort of very Drupal focused that are co-ops. So I encourage people to check that out. So Robin, you're going to be looking for space at some point when you pull the trigger on this. You're going to announce it more. You're going to tell me what your blog is, and then we'll blog about it on the bootuplabs blog. And other than that, people will catch up with you at Bar Camp and beyond.
Sure. And in the meantime, if people are interested, we've been doing an educational radio show for 2 years about co-ops and about social economy organizations. And if you're interested, you can check it out. It's called Each for All, and it's eachforall.org.
Eachforall.org. Okay. Thanks a lot, Robin.
All right. Thanks, Forrest.
Ciao.